Hey everybody, this is a clip from the latest episode of The Randy Rhoads Show. If you want the full episode, you can watch live on Free Speech TV, Dish Channel 9415, DirecTV 348, Sling, Roku, and Apple TV.
Came to Texas, the power grid in the state became totally reliant on windmills. Then it got cold and the windmills broke, because that's what happens in the Green New Deal. You're without power. Millions are still without power tonight. Several have died. Now, the same energy policies that have wrecked Texas this week are going nationwide. They're coming to your state.
These people are disgusting liars. They are literally people who get defended in court by making this argument. No reasonable man would believe anything Tucker Carlson says. He lies every day for a living. So why is your plaintiff saying that Tucker Carlson needs to tell the truth? And that's being accepted by juries now. It's being accepted by judges. That no reasonable man should or would believe Tucker Carlson or Sean Hannity or any of these liars that work on One America News or Newsmax. I have never, ever, listen, everybody gets sued in this business. I have never, ever, ever met anybody who defended themselves with anything except for, I told the truth. And the truth is a complete defense. That's how I defended myself twice. I told the truth. And you prove that you told the truth, and then it's done. But no, they make the case that no reasonable man thinks they're telling the truth, and then they lie all day, all day. Texas is supposedly this big energy state, and yet it failed to be able to deliver any energy to its customers. And Louisiana and Oklahoma also had issues with delivering oil and gas, natural gas especially, because those pipes froze. They froze. It has nothing to do with wind or green or anything or solar or renewables. Nothing. Every damn thing that happens in this country due to deregulation or a lack of investment in infrastructure, it all has to be made into a cultural issue, right? Kamala Harris, she looked like she was going to be the vice president of the United States. So let's turn her into a cultural issue. Let's turn her into all women are mattresses. They're mattresses. That's how they get where they're going. They sleep their way to the top. This is sick, dangerous, twisted, and I got news for you. Rush Limbaugh is going to be replaced. And I'll give you 3 guesses who in Palm Beach, where he lived, might replace him. It ain't his wife, number 4. And it won't be a woman. Oh my God, this is unbelievable. I cannot believe people are literally dying because of deregulation in this country, energy deregulation, and the whole idea that they didn't want to spend one thin dime on winterizing anything to do with their electrical grid in Texas or Oklahoma or Louisiana, knowing that they had this problem. They had it in 2011. They had the same damn problem, and they did nothing. And so instead of addressing it and saying, all right, now we learned our lesson, we have to, make sure that the infrastructure can handle cold weather, right? We have to winterize our infrastructure. I'm not even asking them to admit that there is such a thing as climate change, which obviously there is. This is because the polar vortex, the cold, freezing cold air that used to just be up there, okay, around northern Canada and the North Pole, the jet stream used to keep it up there. Well, the jet stream has been perverted, and now the jet stream goes much further south, and the cold air sinks further south, and this is what it looks like. Now, without them even having to admit that that is the case, why don't they just admit that they put no money into winterizing any of their infrastructure grid? No, let's turn it into a cultural issue. Let's blame it on liberals, or let's blame it on green or renewable energy. Let's blame, that the wholesale price of electricity in Houston went from $22 a megawatt hour to $9,000 on the wholesale market. That's why you're not getting electricity. Has nothing to do with wind or solar or green. And by the way, windmills are too busy causing cancer to be causing power outages. Am I right? Am I right? I mean, that's what Trump told you. So anybody that's a fan of the Trump, windmills cause cancer, not power outages. They're disgusting.
The blackouts that are in Texas are being made worse by the failure of wind turbines, many freezing in the icy weather, cutting output in half. And it's raising questions about the Lone Star State's increasing reliance on renewable energy.
Now, folks, this is all more proof that green energy just is not ready for prime time. You get sub-freezing temperatures, and wind and solar just don't work for power.
If this Green New Deal goes forward the way that the Biden administration appears to want it to, then we'll have more events like we've had in Texas all across the country.
These wind farms that are frozen, they're an eyesore, they're not efficient, they're not delivering the energy that we want.
The windmills failed, like the silly fashion accessories they are, and people in Texas died.
You know whose talking points these are? Do you think it's any coincidence that throughout the day, all over the shows, every show repeated this lie about wind farms being the cause of your rolling black? Do you know whose words they're saying? Do you have any idea what marks you are for this? Okay, this is the oil and gas lobbyists' talking points. Okay, I know lobbyists, and I know what they do, and I know how they put copy in front of media people. That is exactly what they're doing. They are. Greg Abbott was repeating oil and gas lobbyist talking points. Tucker Carlson repeated it. And all across the Fox News network yesterday, every single one of their hosts, Rick Perry, all these people, they're getting paid to show up and tell you that your problem has nothing to do with fossil fuel lobbyist talking points. I mean, listen, Greenland has wind turbines. Siberia has wind turbines. Okay, up in the Northeast, where we're used to it being very freaking frigid in the wintertime, okay? And all across Iowa, where it gets really stinking cold, there are wind farms. This has nothing to do with that. This is the oil and gas industry turning green energy, their enemy, into the issue when they fail. They failed miserably. And you know why? Deregulation, everybody. Just like it ruined radio. Okay, it ruins everything. Sorry. 1996 Telecommunications Deregulation Act. I tried to explain it. Who the hell was I? I said, you're going to lose 100,000 jobs and you're going to end up with the same radio show on 10,000 transistor radios, all tuned to a different radio station, listening to the same person. And it happened. No, they okay, Texas, come to grips with this little factoid. You're now Puerto Rico. You got it? Good. Go to randyrhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Buy a stinking podcast. Hey everybody, this is a clip from the latest episode of The Randy Rhoads Show. If you want the full episode, you can watch live on Free Speech TV, Dish Channel 9415, DirecTV 348, Sling, Roku, and Apple TV.